Dr. Sam Amadi, Director, Abuja School of Social and Political Thought, and the Rise Analyst, joins me now in the studio to look at the upcoming convention of the ADC in the light of the leadership crisis, and if the convention can really stand the test of time. Very warm welcome, Sam.
Thank you, Chris. Happy to be here with you. And happy Easter, by the way.
Yeah, happy Easter. Yeah, happy Easter, yeah. But started on such a bad note in some parts of the country, not palatable at all. But let's interrogate what's at hand right now, looking at the Court of Appeal submission or ruling. A matter still in court. INEC has come to interpret the law as given by, or the ruling rather, as given by the Appeal Court. Would it still be wise for ADC to go ahead with its convention?
Well, okay, so there are two things here. ADC's reading of the legal landscape as well as the political strategy have to come together. First, there are many matters in the court. Even Labour Party, PDP matters are in court. Perhaps only APC is spared of this judicialization of politics. So unfortunately, that's where we are. That the great Alexis Tocqueville, the French philosopher, spoke of American politics, says no sooner there is a political dispute that it ends up becoming a legal dispute in America. That was centuries ago.
Yeah.
Here in Nigeria, it's like we're waking up to that. So every political issue with opposition gets to get trapped in court.
Even when the issues are eternal matters.
As the Supreme Court said.
The Supreme Court's ruling,
why
do the court still entertain issues that the Supreme Court has adjudicated on? Eternal matters, go and sort your matters.
But when the Supreme Court didn't give what we call intelligible criteria, so the Supreme Court says internal matter, but at the same time, if there are issues that involve determination of rights, the court will still look at it. But that's a judicial philosophy. But the key point here is, matter is pending, and it goes to allegation that the vice chairman then said he didn't resign, okay? There was a neck that dissolved the existing NWC. But however the court will decide it in the days to come, nothing from the court stops ADC from going ahead. The INEC has taken their decision based on their understanding of the status quo ante bellum. But again, INEC did not say we are authoritative. INEC has no interpretive jurisdiction. INEC follows the law, and he has a right to form an opinion and act. But his opinion does not become a judicial authority pronouncement. So ADC has to assess risk, cost, and benefit. The INEC chairman also came out on television and made reference to Zamfara and cases where failure, wrong political actions that the court later adjudged wrong, could affect tickets, which is clear. I mean, if at the end of the day, for example, the court takes the view that this existing ADC Executive Council, NWC, is the wrong one, and vacates them, then whatever they do, get tainted. Exactly. But the key point is that you do not have that kind of experience here. And what will happen here is that the court will decide ultimately, say, you know what, this matter is before us. No order has been violated. That's the key point here. The court didn't order ADC to stop taking any action. And the Court of Appeal...
That's the trial court.
The trial court. And the Court of Appeal simply rejected their argument.
Go back to the trial court.
To stop the case. I said, go back and face the case. So what this points to us, therefore, is that the leadership will do a scenario analysis and say, what's our best bet? Now, don't forget that the Electoral Act has mapped out a period within which actions have to happen.
Yeah.
And then it can't plead INEC's interruption as an excuse for you not to get the job done. So my reading is that the court has looked at the legal argument and said, INEC does not have... By the way, if INEC offloads you from their portal, it means that INEC says, based on court order, we now recognize both of you. But INEC's recognition does not, become a legal recognition. So if the court finally says, David Mark, you are rightly in, then INEC will be forced to upload it. And whatever you do stands. Again, the question around INEC supervising, if INEC has, you notified INEC, which the law requires,
Is INEC hasty in reaching That conclusion?
Absolutely. First, there was no positive order. Unlike in the case of Labour Party, in the case of even the PDP that INEC acted upon, and people say it was too quick. There's no order here addressed to INEC to say de-recognize X. The court spoke almost like what to call, this is not even binding, it's just like an aside. So, you know what, you guys, we are not going to determine anything. Go back in the meantime
and conclude the matter before the Federal High Court.
Alter the subject matter, which
is status quo.
Which is actually, whether the court says so or not.
But which one is now going to be the status quo? There's been the legalese, Bellum and the rest, and what have you.
The status quo.
Yeah, when does the status quo begin?
The status quo is not. It's not only lawyers who can establish status quo. If something happened today, we're not having this conversation. If I step out now and I have another show and they said, keep the status quo.
Maintain the status quo.
It's what has happened before action starts. So the literal meaning of it, and you can plot it by deadline. So if the day you went to court is Tuesday and the court says on Wednesday, keep status quo, the court means whatever has happened from that Wednesday backwards is the status quo. That's what exists before the order. So the question is that the status quo will relate to two things. One, either David Mark's ESCO that's been challenged now by virtue of this case, or worst case, if you trace it backward to the former chairman.
Yeah.
Gombe has never been a chair. He is the one pleading the right to be chairman by virtue of the fact that I did not resign. He didn't say I was a chairman. He said I ought to be chairman, not David Mark. But however, the problem of INEC ran into is that two things. One is that INEC didn't need to bother about perhaps offloading because there was no order requiring them to do so. Two, INEC also seemed to have wrongly interpreted it. Many authorities have said that's not really the status quo does not require that instruction from the court. Keep status quo does not require INEC to de-recognize those people. But the key point for the agency leadership will now be, if we take this risk, if we take this interpretation that INEC has no authority, legal authority to do what they did, they acted almost by inquiry if they were caught, beyond their power, beyond the law, and we go ahead and do our Congress. We also take the risk that at the end of that process...
So there's a risk?
There's always, that's why illegal actions are not good in political matter. You create, every case in court could go anywhere. We could say that judges may, that's why in appeal you say a judge misconstrued the issue. So a trial judge could make mistake and wrongly enter suit against you. Now, you want to believe that the Court of Appeal would perhaps see that error and correct it. And if they fail, you want to believe that the Supreme Court, in their supreme wisdom, will see it. But it's possible, and many cases have happened, where errors have gone through the whole gamut of judicial system and state. So there's always a risk. But again, the risk of not going ahead with their primary
will be more.
They have to balance it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you so very much, Dr. Sam Amadi, Director, Abuja Social and Political School of Social and Political Thoughts and Arise Analysts, for coming to shed light on that. And Nigerians are waiting with bated breath.
The most important is we should stop judicializing politics, allow politicians to have conflict and solve it.
Yeah.
And then the court should basically interpret the rules and allow, not necessarily, that's uncertainty. It's not good for democracy.
All right. Thank you very much.